The Second World War saw the rise of many legendary tanks, but among them, one stood out for its speed, reliability, and contribution on multiple battlefields. The M3 Stuart, America's first mass-produced light tank, became a symbol of mobility and resilience in the early years of the conflict. Although lightly armed and armored, it earned respect from both its crews and its enemies, and played a crucial role in shaping Allied armored warfare. The story of the M3 Stuart begins in 1940, at a time when the United States was preparing to modernize its military forces. Observing the rapid mechanized advances of Germany in Europe, the U.S. Army realized that it needed tanks that could be produced quickly, used for reconnaissance, and provide support to infantry. The M2 light tank was already in service, but it was outdated. To address the shortcomings, the M3 was designed as an improved version, with better armor protection, a more powerful gun, and increased reliability. The M3 Stuart carried a 37mm main gun, which in 1941 was considered adequate against most enemy armor. It also mounted several .30 caliber Browning machine guns for defense against infantry. The tank weighed around 14 tons and was powered by a radial gasoline engine that gave it a top speed of about 36 miles per hour, or nearly 60 kilometers per hour. This speed made it excellent for scouting missions and fast advances, earning it the reputation of being agile and dependable. When the United States entered the war after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the Stuart was one of the few tanks available in large numbers. It was immediately deployed across multiple theaters. In North Africa, British forces, who had received thousands of Stuarts through the Lend-Lease program, used them extensively against the German Afrika Korps. The British crews affectionately nicknamed the tank, Honey, because of its smooth ride and mechanical reliability. However, in direct combat against German Panzer III and Panzer IV tanks, the Stuart was often outgunned. Its light armor could not withstand hits from German 50 or 75mm guns. Still, its speed and maneuverability allowed it to perform flanking attacks, reconnaissance, and rapid pursuit operations, where heavier tanks would struggle. In the Pacific theater, the M3 Stuart saw extensive use against Japanese forces. Here, the light armor and smaller gun were not a disadvantage. Japanese tanks were generally lighter and more poorly armed than their German counterparts, which allowed the Stuart to dominate tank versus tank encounters. Its ability to traverse rough jungle terrain and provide fire support to infantry made it a valuable asset in campaigns across the Philippines, Guadalcanal, and Burma. One of the major strengths of the M3 Stuart was its reliability. Crews consistently praised the tank for being mechanically sound and easy to maintain, even in harsh desert or tropical conditions. This reliability meant that the Stuart could be pushed hard during fast advances, and it rarely left soldiers stranded due to breakdowns. For an army that needed dependable vehicles, this was a priceless advantage. Over 22,000 units of the M3 Stuart were built, making it one of the most widely produced light tanks of the war. Several variants were created, including versions with improved armor, different turrets, and specialized equipment. Despite its limitations, the Stuart served in nearly every major Allied army. Beyond the United States and Britain, the Soviet Union also received many through Lend-Lease, using them primarily for reconnaissance and infantry support. By the middle years of the war, the 37mm gun had become obsolete against improved German armor. As a result, the Stuart was gradually replaced in frontline roles by more powerful tanks like the M4 Sherman. Yet, it remained useful in secondary roles, including reconnaissance, convoy protection, and training. Its legacy lies not in its firepower, but in its contribution to Allied mobility and its ability to be produced in massive numbers when they were most needed. The crews who operated the M3 Stuart often had mixed feelings about it. On one hand, they appreciated its speed, ease of handling, and reliability. On the other, they knew its armor was thin, and in direct battles with German tanks, survival depended on skill, speed, and luck. Despite this, many soldiers grew attached to their Stuarts, giving them nicknames and decorating them with personal insignias. For these men, the Stuart was more than a machine, it was a trusted companion in a dangerous war. Looking back, the M3 Stuart may not have been the most powerful tank of World War II, but it was certainly one of the most important. It allowed Allied forces to field armored units quickly, helped bridge the gap until more advanced designs could be deployed, and provided vital support in theaters where agility mattered more than armor thickness. It was a tank built not to dominate the battlefield, but to be dependable, fast, and versatile, and in that role, it excelled. The M3 Stuart remains a reminder of how even a lightly armed vehicle can have a major impact on the course of history. It was a small tank, but it carried a heavy responsibility, and it did so with distinction. For the soldiers who fought with it, and for the armies that relied on it, the Stuart was more than just steel and armor. It was a symbol of determination and adaptability, qualities that ultimately helped secure victory.